Smart, intelligent women make their own money. They're not going to depend on a man to come and rescue them. Prince Charming is not coming. I'm sorry to break it to you. I know so many of us, we've been brainwashed by this idea that someone's going to come and rescue us from our situation. And so we put our life on hold. Maybe we put our goals and ambition on hold because we have this belief that we don't need to do anything, that we can depend on some guy to come and rescue us from our situation. And this holds and limits a lot of us women back from our potential. And when we do this, this puts us at risk. So many women who choose men solely based on money, they can find themselves in toxic situations where they're stuck and they cannot remove themselves because they're depending on this person for resources. And that's what I'm going to get into in this video. 4 reasons why it's so important that as women, we learn to make our own money. And smart, intelligent women, they understand that this is something that they need to prioritize. So let's get straight into it. The first reason why it's important to make your own money, and smart, intelligent women, they know this. They're clever and they know that this aspect of their life is really, really important. The first reason to make your own money and not to wait around for Prince Charming to come is because it's going to help you, especially in a relationship dynamic, help you to remove yourself from toxic situations, having the ability to walk away. You know, sometimes when we choose a man for his money and his resources, and if we've not figured out how to provide for ourselves, to be resourceful, to be self-sufficient, many women can find themselves stuck. They can find themselves in a tricky situation, especially if they've started a family. Unfortunately, money and power can go hand in hand. And sometimes if a man who doesn't have good character, who abuses this power of money and the influence he has over a woman, he can take advantage of this situation. He can try and control her, maybe remove some of her freedom, starts dictating what she can do and what she can't do, all because she is fully dependent on him. I'm not saying for all. Of course, there are some provider men who are generous, and from some culture, they encourage men to fully take care of their wife and their family, and they don't make their women feel bad about their situation. However, unfortunately, there are men who are going to take advantage of taking care of someone fully by his money. And this is where women, when they can make their own money, when they have their own money, they don't need to think twice. They can walk away. This is what's going to save her from toxic situations. The second point, a reason why it's important a woman makes her own money is because it gives her a sense of self-respect and dignity. When you make your own money, you will feel proud of yourself. You will feel like you are not depending on someone else to make this resource, and you'll walk in a different way. You'll carry yourself in a different way when you know that you can make money on your own. It's empowering, my loves. It's a feeling of freedom where you have autonomy over your own money. When a man can see that you are not going to be fully dependent on him for money, the chances of him having more respect for you is probably going to be higher. When he can see that you're not going to wait around for him to go do all the things that you want. No, you can do it yourself. It's a sign of having dignity and self-respect for yourself. And as a result, a man is going to also respect you. You know, a lot of men, they fear, one of the greatest fear that they have is being used for their resources and for their money. So when you are a woman who is making your own money, it will show them that you don't need them, but you want to be with them. You don't need them because you are making your own money. You can go and do all the things that you want on your own. You don't need him to do it for you. And as a result, he will be more attracted to you. He will respect you more as a woman because he can see that you're not going to be out there trying to use him and abuse him for his resources, which a lot of men have this fear that women can do. Instead, he can see that you've got your stuff together, you've got your shit together, you've got your life together where you've prioritized making your own money and you're not going to depend on him. And as a result, you will feel proud of yourself, you'll have some self-respect and dignity, and the way we feel about ourselves is how other people are going to treat us as a result of this. The next reason why it's so important that women learn to make their own money, and smart, intelligent women, they understand the importance of this, is that learning to make your own money and finding different ways, figuring out different ways to do this, it can help women expand themselves and look at what potential, look at what they can achieve. I think sometimes as women, we've been taught to believe to only take on the NPC role, which is the non-player character role. This is a new abbreviation that I've learned. A lot of us, we've been taught as women to take on the caring and the nurturing role, in particular when it comes to a relationship dynamic. You know, as women, we're often the one who has to take on the cooking responsibilities, the cleaning responsibilities. And we, not all, we as women, maybe we use this as an excuse, telling ourselves that, you know what, I've got things to do for my partner, I've got things to do in my family, I don't have the time to go and achieve the things that I want to make my own money because I'm busy taking on this more passive role in other people's life, being more docile and making sure that I'm there for everybody else. And as a result of this is where we limit ourselves as women. This is where we don't give ourselves the opportunity to figure out how we can do things for ourselves, make our own money. When you allow yourself to go out there, take action, go and do the things that you want to do, your ambitions and goals, this is what's going to make you feel more confident. This is what's going to make you feel like you don't fully have to solely depend on someone else. In particular, like I said, especially if you're in a toxic relationship or any kind of abusive relationship, you always have your own back. You always have a backup plan that you are able to walk away. You've got yourself. And also by experimenting, by going out there and seeing what you can achieve, this is where you can see what you're made of as a woman. Why should we as women have to limit ourselves to take on these roles that society has told us to, these traditional roles? And some women are okay with that. Perfect. But a lot of us, we don't have to fit into this mold that society has told us that we need to kind of squeeze ourselves into. Absolutely not. There's so many women who are doing amazing things, great things, achieving, making money. And that's what's beautiful. This is what is empowering for women. This is what helps them not being stuck in toxic relationships. This is what helps them to go and choose a man for love and not because she needs him for money. The fourth reason why it's important that a woman learns to make her own money, and why a smart, intelligent woman, she understands the importance of this, is that having your own money allows you to indulge in the nice things that you want without needing anyone's permission. And quite frankly, that is freedom. Imagine if you're with somebody, a partner, in a relationship where you have to fully depend on him. I'm not saying for all, where you have to always asking permission. Babe, I need £100 to go and get this. I need this amount. Where you always have to kind of almost beg someone to give you the money. When you make your own money, you can do whatever the hell you want. If you want to indulge yourself in a nice meal one night, you can do that. You don't need anyone's permission. You don't need a guy's permission. You don't need anyone's permission. Nada. I've seen sometimes when women have to rely on a man for money. I've had friends where they have to rely on their man to give them permission to go out because she's depending on him financially. And I'm not saying all men make women feel like this, but there can be, because again, like I said before, sometimes men can use money as a power and control things. So if he's the one that's providing everything, then it can really create a power shift dynamic in a relationship where he gets to have all the say because he's the one that's providing and doing everything. So when you are able to make your own money, you don't have to think twice. You can do what you want. It's your money, right? You don't have to ask permission. And that's it's a very liberating feeling to be able to have that. And I think we can overlook the importance of having this resource for ourselves so that we are able to still maintain that sense of independence. I'm not fully depending on someone else for the things that we want to do, the day-to-day things that we want to do. And also, I want to mention that when you are able to do your own thing, where you're not depending on a man to impress you by buying dinner for you on a date. Some men can play on this when they try and pay for your taxi or your hotel and try and impress you. That's nice. Who doesn't want to be taken care of, right? But if a man does not have the right intention, and if he's got a lot of money, he can use this as a power thing once again to manipulate a woman to try and convince her maybe to sleep with him or to do what he wants, because he can see that she's not able to do it for herself. So she's going to get enticed into the situation. And this happens often. I think we can all, in a way, relate to this when it's almost like looking at a candy and it's, very tempting, especially if you don't have it. But when you are a woman who makes your own money, you are already giving yourself these nice things. You can buy yourself that nice dress, get a taxi, get the Uber yourself. You don't need to depend on him. So you're less likely going to feel like you owe him anything. You're less likely going to fall for all these things that he wants to do for you. And you're more likely going to judge a person based on his character. How is he as a person? Is he going to be a good, kind person to you, to be in a relationship with? You are not going to be blindsided by all these flashy objects because you can get it yourself. And that's why, my loves, my dears, it's so important as women that we learn to prioritize and make money for ourselves, because truly it's something that causes a lot of stress in many people's life. And unfortunately, a lot of women, they end up, because of money, being in wrong relationships because, they see someone who's got a lot of money and they can overlook the red flags, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video. So when we can learn to become resourceful, self-sufficient, make our own money, we're less likely going to fall into these traps. We're less likely going to choose a man just for his money, and we'll be more cautious because we've got this aspect of our life covered. So therefore, we're not going to be desperate. We're not going to be needy, and it will help enable us to have more choices in life and choose a man because we want him, we want his company, and not just because we need him desperately. And this is what's going to put you in a much better situation. Let me know what you think about this topic. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Can you relate to anything that I've said in this video? Share your thoughts with me in the box below. I'd love to hear from you because it gives me an insight into what you are thinking, and I learn from you as well. I hope you're all doing really well, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care. Bye.